Welcome all and thank you for joining. I'm Manish Puranik at Seva Tarang Foundation, Pune. Seva Tarang Foundation is a non-profit on a mission of enabling NGOs operations at every step with its range of back office services. To know more about Seva Tarang's offerings in detail, please visit our website www.sevatarang.org. Before moving on, let me put today's subject of project management elements in a perspective. Once you have designed your project, put together your pitching material, and initiated fundraising, it's time to learn managing your project professionally with the help of project management principles. You will need to understand some basics of the discipline to do that. If you take care of all the needs of your family for years together without any break, you are an efficient project manager. If you are attending office by driving through the city traffic for years together without a late mark, you are a successful project manager. If you plan and organize family or social events on as and when required basis, at times with a very short notice, you are an outstanding project manager. If you are planning your finances to live happily even after your retirement, you are an excellent project manager. This is not to simplify or underestimate the discipline of project management in any way. This is just to show that the seemingly mundane activities of daily routines of common people also follow the principles of project management unknowingly, going through the phases of it like initiation, planning, execution, monitoring, and closing. The effort is to make it humane as we will discuss project management in context of social development projects undertaken by NGOs who are generally humanist and seldom enjoy the luxury of sophistication. All these and many more similar examples stand as proof that projects are managed successfully even by common people without knowing the technicalities of project management. That brings us to the definition of project and its management. According to the standard for program management by Program Management Institute, a portfolio is a collection of projects, programs, subsidiary portfolios, and operations managed as a group to achieve strategic objectives. A program is a group of related projects, subsidiary programs, and program activities that are managed in a coordinated manner to obtain benefits not available from managing them individually. A project is defined as a temporary endeavor that is undertaken to create a unique product, service, or result. The standard for program management by Project Management Institute defines project as a temporary, having a definite start and end time endeavor that is undertaken to create a unique product, service, or result. Based on this definition, the purpose of project management is to plan, organize, and manage resources to bring about the successful completion of specific project outputs, outcomes, and goals. Project focuses on requirements of deliver specific benefits for beneficiaries in ways that are cost effective and smart, specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound. Too much jargon, right? Let us try to make it simple to understand. NGOs are driven by program portfolio. Program portfolio consists of projects. Projects are undertaken for impacts. Impacts are achieved by planned objectives. Objectives are fulfilled by outcomes. Outcomes are the result of outputs. Outputs are obtained by conducting activities. Activities are planned, implemented, and controlled by processes. Processes need to be documented, reviewed, and updated. The discipline to manage processes is project management. Much better now, isn't it? With this context set, today we will explore 10 knowledge areas, 5 phases, and a few essential strategies to manage your projects professionally. Let us begin our exploration of project management elements in the simplest possible manner. Any project is governed by the iron triangle of scope, cost, and time. This triangle follows the fundamental law of geometry of triangle. Sum of all interior angles of any triangle will always equal to 180 degrees, which simply means any change in one angle of the triangle will result in balancing deviation in other two angles to keep the sum of the three, that is 180 degrees, intact. To put it in a simple way, scope, cost, and time for any project are predefined, and if the scope is modified, the change will be reflected in both the cost and time. Similarly, if the cost is changed, the scope and time will change, and if the time is modified, the scope and cost will have to be adjusted accordingly. Although it is very common that mostly there would be a change in the scope and the cost and time has to be adjusted, to counter this situation, it becomes imperative to freeze or lock the scope before starting the project and avoid any scope creep, which is defined as making any changes, particularly adding any unauthorized features to the predefined agreed upon scope. That makes the formal scope definition in writing, termed as project definition, and its management extremely important as the first step of project management. The success indicators of project like schedule performance index SPI and cost performance index CPI are always relative to the scope, and to maintain their resultant value greater than or equal to 1, scope must be managed meticulously. This graph gives us a basic idea of calculating CPI and SPI, which denotes the performance of the project vis-a-vis the time invested and the cost incurred. The fourth constraint is the quality of the outputs or results of the project activities. This makes keeping the quality in check another important aspect of project management. Project quality management is the process of continually measuring quality of all activities and taking corrective action until the team achieves the desired quality. Effective quality management of a project lowers the risk of failure of the project and unsatisfied stakeholders. Quality management process helps to control the cost of a project, establish standards to aim for, and determine steps to achieve those standards. Project risk management is the process of identifying, analyzing, and responding to any risk that arises over the life cycle of a project to help the project remain on track and meet its goal. Risk management isn't necessarily reactive. It is part of the planning process to figure out the risk that might happen in the project and how to control that risk if it in fact occurs. Basically, believing in the Murphy's Law that anything that can go wrong will go wrong makes risk management proactive. Resource management is the process of estimating what resources will be needed to complete a project, acquiring them, making a schedule for their allocation, and monitoring their utilization during the execution of a project. Project resources can be simply defined as anything needed to execute project tasks, including the people executing the work. Some of the key project resources are time, raw materials, human resources, machinery and equipment, financial resources, and information and data. The fifth constraint of risk and sixth constraint of resources gives us a sixth constraint project management star. The sixth constraint project management star is confined in the boundaries of a square governed by stakeholders, communication, procurement, and integration. Project communication management is a crucial aspect of project management as it ensures all stakeholders are kept informed about the project's progress, issues, and changes, thereby facilitating effective decision making and collaboration. Project communication management is a collection of processes that help make sure the right messages are sent, received, and understood by the right people. There are three primary communication management processes: plan communication management, manage communications, and monitor the communications. Procurement is the act of obtaining goods, supplies, and or services. Therefore, project procurement is obtaining all the materials and services required for the project. Project management includes three primary processes: plan procurement, conduct procurements, and administer or control the procurements. Procurement management helps in increased certainty and quality of the project, enables cost control, and reduces potential procurement risks. Stakeholders are those who have a stake or an interest in a project or strategy undertaken by a company or an organization. They will be affected in some way by the project and so have an interest in influencing it. They may benefit from the project and so will be supportive and positive about it. Conversely, the project may damage their interest or they may perceive it will have a negative outcome for them, so they will seek to stop it or, at the very least, project it in a bad light. To avoid any unintended negative implications of the project, stakeholder management is vital. Project integration management is the coordination of all elements of a project. This includes coordinating tasks, resources, stakeholders, and any other project element, in addition to managing conflicts between different aspects of a project, making trade offs between competing requests, and evaluating processes. For example, if a project is not on schedule, you may need to choose between going over budget or finishing the project late. Assessing the situation and making an informed decision is a key part of project integration management. This brings us to the summary of 10 project management knowledge areas. First is the scope management, managing the scope of a project, which refers to the tasks, deliverables, and milestones that should be delivered. Second is schedule or time management, creating a project schedule and setting guidelines for how it will be tracked and maintained. Third is the cost management, estimating project costs to create a budget, which is then tracked throughout the project. Fourth is quality management, ensuring that all the project deliverables meet the quality standards. Fifth is resource management, acquiring, allocating, and tracking project resources like labor, materials, and equipment required to implement the project successfully. Sixth is the risk management, identifying, evaluating, and preventing or mitigating risks in your project. Seventh is the communication management, defining communication guidelines for project teams and stakeholders. Number eight is procurement management, acquiring project resources and maintaining relationships with vendors and suppliers. Ninth is Stakeholder management, very important aspect. Identifying project stakeholders at early stage of the project and managing them based on their expectations and influence over projects. Last is integration management, creating a framework for that helps project team work better together. These 10 knowledge areas of project management compose and govern the entire project life cycle of a project. Moving on, let us try to understand the project life cycle in brief. The project life cycle outlines different stages of a project goes through from start to finish. It encompasses several key phases, each addressing different needs as the project progresses. This framework offers a high level view of the project's evolution, ensuring you hit important milestones along the way. These are typically five project lifecycle phases: initiation, planning, execution, monitoring and controlling, and the closure. Moving on, let us try to understand the five phases of the project life cycle with elaboration of the stages and respective activities falling under that stage. Initiation phase marks the beginning of a project. With the project manager defining the scope and objectives during this phase, it's vital to align stakeholders on common goals and lay the foundation for a successful project. Next, the project manager creates a project charter outlining the purpose, goals, and scope of the project. This charter includes the following key information: project purpose and justification, main objectives and deliverables, key stakeholders and team members, initial schedule and budget estimates. Next is the planning phase. During the planning phase, the project manager develops a detailed project plan and roadmap of the project. This involves determining key scheduling details, resource allocation, and risks that could impact the project. The goal is to create a comprehensive map of how the team will execute the work. Stage number three is the execution phase. During the execution phase, the team puts together project plan into the action. The project manager plays a key role in coordinating resources, including people, tools, and materials, while also ensuring the team is well informed about their individual tasks and timelines. Monitoring and controlling phase is the fourth phase, which involve regularly checking project progress and team performance to ensure everything adheres to the project plan. During this phase, the project manager identifies any deviation from the plan and budget, determining the cause to take corrective action. Tools such as status reports, time tracking, budget reports, risk management plans, and stakeholder reviews make it easy to see the most important metrics and milestones. To make changes to the plan, team members should submit a change request for approval. The final stage 5 is the closing phase. The closing phase marks the formal end of a project. During this phase, the focus is on getting final approvals and sign offs, conducting a post project review, identifying what went well, determining areas for improvement, and documenting lessons learned. These activities foster a culture of continuous learning and promote accountability and transparency. Initiation is where you define the goals, scope, budget, and timeline. Planning follows, focusing on creating a detailed action plan. Execution then carries out the plans to deliver the product or service. Once the project begins, you must monitor the project and control for any deviation from the plan. Finally, closure involves wrapping up tasks, obtaining project acceptance, and archiving records. The key is to have a structured approach that helps manage resources, timelines, and deliverables as the project moves from one stage to the next. Throughout the phases, project managers monitor and control their team's efforts, tracking progress and adjusting work as needed to keep the project on schedule and within budget. Now, as we have seen the 10 knowledge areas and 5 phases of project management, let us try to understand some key strategies for success. You must start your projects with a clear understanding of your goals, the resources available, and the expected outcomes. Strategic planning helps prioritize actions, allocate resources efficiently, and establish a roadmap for project implementation. Defining SMART, specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time bound goals ensures clarity and enables effective monitoring and evaluation. Furthermore, strategic planning involves conducting a thorough analysis of the project's internal and external environment. This includes assessing the strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats, SWOT analysis, that may impact the project's success. By understanding these factors, you can develop strategies that capitalize on their strengths, address weaknesses, seize opportunities, and mitigate threats if any. Engaging stakeholders is crucial in social development projects as they often have a significant impact on project success. Therefore, you must identify and involve relevant stakeholders from the beginning, ensuring their active participation and buy in. This includes not only the project team and beneficiaries but also donors, government agencies, local communities, and other organizations working in the same field. Effective stakeholder management requires open and transparent communication channels. You should establish regular communication mechanism to keep stakeholders informed about the project progress, challenges, and achievements. This can be done through meetings, reports, newsletters, and social media platforms. By maintaining strong communication, you can build trust, address concerns, and foster collaboration among stakeholders. In addition, you should actively seek feedback from stakeholders throughout the project lifecycle. This feedback can provide valuable insights and help in making necessary adjustment to ensure project success. By involving stakeholders in decision making processes, you can also enhance project ownership and sustainability. Risks are inherent in any project, and therefore you must proactively identify and mitigate them. You should conduct thorough risk assessment, develop comprehensive risk management plans, and establish contingency measures. This allows them to minimum potential disruptions and respond effectively to unforeseen challenges. During the risk assessment processes, you should identify and analyze potential risks that may impact the project's objectives. This includes assessing risk related to funding, resources, technology, stakeholders, and external factors such as political, social, and environmental challenges. Once risks are identified, you should prioritize them based on their likelihood and impact. After identifying risks, you must develop risk management plans that outline strategies to mitigate, transfer, or accept risks. This may involve implementing preventive measures such as diversifying funding resource, establishing partnerships, or conducting training programs. You should also establish monitoring and evaluation mechanisms to track the effectiveness of risk management strategies and make necessary adjustments. Furthermore, you need to develop contingency plans to address potential risks that may materialize. Contingency plans outline alternative courses of action in case of risk occurrence. These plans should be well documented, communicated to the project team, and regularly reviewed and updated as and when needed. By implementing robust risk management and contingency planning, you will enhance project resilience and ensure successful project outcomes. Technology can significantly enhance your project management processes. Project management software tools provide you with centralized platforms to plan, track, progress, allocate resources, and collaborate efficiently. These tools streamline communication, enable real time data sharing, and facilitate project monitoring and evaluation. Communication is extremely crucial, particularly in social development projects, as the team members are generally geographically dispersed. Digital tools such as video conferencing, instant messaging, and cloud based platforms enable seamless communication, enhance collaboration, and facilitate knowledge sharing among project team members. Continuously evaluating project success is crucial to ensure continuous improvement and accountability. Here are some key considerations. You must establish relevant key performance indicators (KPIs) to measure project progress and success. This can include indicators such as the number of beneficiaries reached, the level of impact achieved, and the efficiency in resource utilization. KPIs help assess project effectiveness and provide valuable insights for future planning. Along with KPIs, you should conduct post project evaluations to learn what went well and what went wrong. This will help you reflect on project outcomes, identify lessons learned, and share best practices within the organization. Evaluations help identify areas for improvement, enhance organizational learning, and contribute to the overall effectiveness of future projects. To sum up today's session, it would be a good idea to understand and explore 10 knowledge areas in detail. Prepare for 5 phases thoroughly and practice implementing key strategies diligently for your theory of change with the help of a logical framework approach to increase the impact of your project by ensuring successful delivery of the projects and contribute significantly to positive change in the world. In conclusion, project management in general and social development project in particular is a complex and multifaceted endeavor. It requires a deep understanding of the unique challenges faced by the NGOs as well as the ability to adapt to diverse environments, engage stakeholders effectively, and navigate complex legal and cultural landscapes. By addressing the challenges head on, you can continue to make a significant impact in their respective sectors and contribute to positive societal change. This was just a brief overview of one of the project management methodologies, PMBOK, by the Project Management Institute. There are many other popular methodologies like CPM, Critical Path Method, Crystal, Kanban, Lean, Prince2, Prism, Scrum, Six Sigma, etc., to name a few. With multiple approaches, the project management discipline is much broader and deeper than what we have tried to explore today. Like an iceberg, what is seen above the surface is not even 10% compared to what remains unseen below the surface. We have tried to just scratch the surface. Please feel free to explore the project management discipline as much as you can to understand it in more detail. Thank you all for your time. Please use the chat box for typing your questions, suggestions, and feedback. Good luck and all the best.